My name is Philip Kwabnamen Sasojago. We started this property about 5 years ago. Our intention is to bring quality education into the neighborhood, into this community. After we built it 2 years ago, we realized that after a series of interviews, we realized most schools don't have technologically based education. So we decided to talk to people who are very good in technology and gaming. So we came into contact with Triforce Johnson, and he introduced us to the whole gaming concept of education, which we realized is very good because after a series of interviews and series of research, we realized that Africa and Ghana as a whole, we don't have anything like that down here. So we came up with a concept of introducing the first STEM and gaming school in Ghana. So this place is going to be the first STEM gaming school. We are thinking of starting next year, 2020, to come up with, take out the whole exercise book and textbooks and notebooks out of the system. We want to introduce the kids to learning with mobile phones and tablets. We want the kids to actually learn how to learn with, the teachers will be teaching actually, not by writing on the blackboard, but by using touchscreen technology, touchscreen technologies. That's what we intend to do.
So, a lot of times, a lot of people think video games can just be used for things like entertainment, actually, obviously competition. You guys know how esports works and whatnot, but a lot of people don't know how video games can actually be used for education. Video games has played a big role in my life growing up in the 80s and the 90s on video games. STEM gaming is not a new concept. It's been around for a very long time. If you want to go back to the days of Nintendo when you were playing Donkey Kong Jr. Math, or when you used to go to school and used to play the Jumpstart games, the Mavis Beacon typing programs, it's always been there, but for some reason we never really moved on with it. And when talking to Phil about his school, and when he told me about his school, I was like, I want to come out to the school and visit it. I was like, let's go take a visit. I want to see what he's trying to actually do. And after touring the school and I'm looking at the different rooms, I'm thinking a lot of schools are obsolete. All these desks, blackboards, all of these things are pretty much obsolete. Why are we even using books in a day when we have tablets? Some people would argue, well, if you have a tablet, we'll lose the way to write because we'll always be typing or using our thumbs. And that's not true because you have styluses on your tablets. We should be using phones and tablets for actually writing. Save the earth. Stop cutting down the trees for paper. Everything should be on a database or a computer. Schools should just have chairs, and everyone has their phone, and they're on their phones and they're typing. It doesn't matter what phone you want to use, whether it may be Blue or Huawei or Samsung. It doesn't matter. We have huge technology companies that can be sponsoring the technologies of these schools to help the advancement of how we teach in today's time, because the old way is obsolete. I thought the old ways were obsolete back in the 80s for me. I thought school was boring. I was like, rolling my eyes. The only part of school that was ever fun for me was computer class. And I know a lot of people today actually think the very same, that the only time that they're ever happy is either physical education or their computer class, something with technology, because this old obsolete way of learning, open your book, turn to page 63, read the title. I know the kids who are watching this is like, yes, he's right, because trust me, I went through the same crap you guys went through. So we need to find a way to update how we do schools and stuff like that, and games can definitely do that. Kids or younger people are very interested in technology, and if we can advance the way we put our academics into the video games, one, we're already interested in video games, so we naturally have that, we're gravitating towards it. So by gravitating towards the actual video games, we have an interest in wanting to learn because we're always in it already. You play a video game, you're competing against somebody, they're beating you, you don't know how to beat them, you're gonna wanna learn what it takes to beat them. So that's why kids will sit down for hours on end playing games like Fortnite and League of Legends, because they wanna learn what does it take to beat, what item, what building skill, whatever it is. That same thing can be applied to education. Growing up, when I used to play role-playing games like Dragon Warrior and so, I'm like, I needed to read, or I don't know where to go. And I used to say, Dad, what does this say? That's why you need to learn how to read. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to learn how to read because I want to beat the game. So I'm being motivated by the challenges in the video game and the technology. We need to embrace that. We need not to stop going away from that. Growing up, you know, stop playing video games. It's never going to get you anywhere. And look what video games is doing to the world now. It's getting us in places way further than our old style of education will ever get. So teachers need to even upgrade as well. Why are teachers writing with chalks on the board when they can have a big, you know, Samsung screen, touch screen, and they're scrolling down and they're going through the internet, and researching will be faster. Everything will be quicker. People will learn easier. People can submit their homeworks to a database computer rather than writing it and giving it to the teacher, and the teacher has to go through everything. Tomorrow you got to submit your homework. People can do their homework at home, send it in an email, the teacher gets it, the teacher can go through that homework easier, faster. Everything will be advanced. And creating a STEM gaming education school will be excellent. There's so many different STEM companies out there. The one that I'm here in Ghana with is Hashtag. And can you imagine Hashtag creating an actual school? Well, not necessarily creating a school because the school is already built, but outlining the school with its gaming technology to advance them. This will literally create a triggering effect where big technology companies, we're obviously going to need the internet and telecommunication. The big telecommunication and internet companies can get involved and help advance who we are as human beings. This is what's needed, because the next generation is going to be able to advance Earth through their education. So the reason why Earth isn't moving faster or better is because look at how we're teaching our kids. We're not really teaching them. We're just teaching them the same thing that we know. So if we have our parents who still stuck on television leading the way, the world will never move forward. Well, it will eventually move forward, but it will never move forward fast enough. And we need to use that technology, and gaming is the way. Gaming can be used for so many things. We create all these technologies that do so many destructive things, but we never sit down and say, why don't we use technology to help advance us, heal us, do positive things? Some people say, well, then everyone's going to be sitting in a chair on their phone. We're going to become lazy. Not true. Physical education, games. Ever thought about the Nintendo Wii U when they had the Wii Fit? Now the Nintendo Switch is making some new gadget where you can put the Joy-Cons in, where you can do your exercises. So even down to physical education, dancing is a form of physical education. Just Dance can step in. So there are many different games that create exercise that gives you your physical education. So video games, the only thing video game can't do right now is cook your food. Actually, I'm sorry. There's Cooking Mama. So there's a video game that even teaches you how to cook. Video games does everything. Video games could probably stop world war. Video games can actually bring peace to the world. We just need to be able to push the video games in the right direction. So it's about the direction. And with companies like Hashtag and gamers out there who can step forward to influence that technology to be used for something positive like advancing games, we're going to see a faster, more vibrant advancement in education for humanity. All right, guys, so that's it on our feature here for STEM gaming education. We'll see more of this later on in the future here at the Lab Video Game TV, because our game is never over.